Hey everybody, how you doing today? Mark here, staying in my kitchen, not to cook, okay? I'm not cooking today. What I want to do today, it is a motorcycle video, but what I'm doing, because it's the off season, it's time to take care of some of our gear, take care of our motorcycle, so that's what I'm going to do over the next few, probably weeks, maybe even a couple of months. So I want to start a series on gear care, and what I want to do today is actually show how I clean my helmet. Now I'm not talking the outside of my helmet, because the outside of my helmet I usually put it in the sink, a little bit of dish soap, clean up the visor, wash down the outside, easy enough. You know, you can even pop off your visor if you're able to do that. But what I want to do is I want to show what I do for the inside of the helmet, okay? And you can do this even if your pads do not come out, okay? All you got to do, unsnap your pads. Okay, so there's a cheek pad right there, nice and easy. And then see these little snaps just come right out. There's usually a little bit of a plastic piece that tucks inside of the helmet a little bit. Another cheek pad. And then to get the crown portion off, usually there's more steps along the back. So I've got that all undone. And then along the top brow area, there are some more snaps and little fittings and stuff. And then the crown pad comes off. Okay, and so on mine, that's about all I'm going to be able to do. Some helmets you might be able to take off the chin guard. On mine, I can't. I would have to take off the interior foam in order to get that chin guard off, or the chin strap. So yeah, that's the inside of your helmet. It's just foam. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run just some lukewarm water. It doesn't have to be extremely hot, but I don't want it extremely cold either. You could probably do it in cold water now that I think about it though. Don't think there's a reason why, but I like it a little warm. That way the oils kind of dissolve and stuff in the warm water, as opposed to trying to get it to break up in cold water. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the sink and get a little soap in there. This is what I like to use. Woolite, just standard Woolite. You could use whatever laundry detergents you typically use. I would stay away from things that are heavily bleached and stuff like that. That's about the only thing I would stay away from. I think the Woolite's a little easier on the foam padding than anything, so this is what I'm going to go with. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to put down a towel here, just so that when the interior pads are getting done washing and stuff, they're pretty wet. So I just want a towel here just for them to sit on and dry out, okay? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little stopper in my sink. Yours might be a little bit different, and yes, I'm going to do it to both sides of my sink. And I'm just going to fill it. Now this is fully hot, and that's fully cold. I want a warm water. It doesn't have to be super hot, but I don't want it cold either. So I'm just going to get a little bit of water in here, and then a little bit of water in here. I'll put my soap in this sink here, and that's where I'll do my washing, and then I'll do my rinsing in this sink here. Okay, so I've got maybe about 3 inches of water here in this sink, and I'm going to do the same thing for my wash sink here. And also guys, don't forget to do this in a clean sink, okay? Quickly just give it a scrub down. I actually clean my sink with Comet. I got the bottle right here. And yeah, just a little Comet, a little scrubbing, make sure it's all clean. You know, I don't want you to sit here and try to clean the pads of your helmet in residue from maybe some greasy meat or things that might stain, you know, tomatoes or something like that. That would really suck. I don't like adding my soap right away because I don't want it to get too foamy and too sudsy, but I will pour it in now. And that's it. That's all you need. Just one little cap full. All right, then we're going to stick our pad in. Put that in there. Get the cheek pads in there. And we're just going to let these soak for maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so. Just a little bit to start getting the oils and residues in the pads, you know, getting them softened up a little bit. So yeah, we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit. Now, if you guys are worried about washing away the antibacterial coating that your motorcycle helmet pads have on it, don't worry about it, okay? Yes, it may end up washing off, but I know Tide actually carries an antimicrobial fabric spray stuff. So just go out to the store, find the spray, you can order it online or whatever, and after you're done washing it and it's fully dried, just take it and spray it down with the Tide antibacterial fabric spray, okay? Cool. Okay, so my pads have been sitting in here for a little while. You might be able to tell already how dirty the water has already gotten. Now, the secret on washing these pads is that you don't sit there and you don't wring it and you don't scrub on it. You literally just hold it under the water and press on it with your thumb, okay? This is all you're doing. Because you're doing it this way, because if you sit there and you start rubbing on it and you're wringing it and stuff like that, what that's going to do is it's actually going to ruin the foam underneath. So you're trying to be as gentle with it as possible. And yes, this could take a little while, but not too bad. You know, of course, the plastic piece, you can rub on that a little bit. You might have some schmutz and grime and stuff on that. Mine's got this little ear flap. There's not much foam in there, so I am rubbing on that a little bit. You know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just kind of pushing it with my whole hand. I'm not rubbing it or anything like that. Look how dirty that water is getting. I can't even see the bottom of the sink anymore. Okay, and once you think you're done, squeeze out as much of the soap as possible. Again, do not wring it. Just press it. So you're not wringing it like this. You're not, you know, trying to squeegee out all the water. You're just pressing it. And then this can go in the rinse water. All right, let's do the other cheek pad. Now, I haven't actually done this helmet for a couple of years now, so that's why my water is so grimy. And this is actually my old helmet, and I don't plan on reusing this helmet, but I thought, you know, my other helmet that I just got is too new. It's not going to be too grimy. So I wanted to do this video using my old helmet with all the grime and sweat and whatever in the pads. Again, just squeeze it to wring it out. Put it in my rinse water. Now, same thing with this. This is the head pad, crown pad, whatever you want to call it. This is where my brow is. I get a lot of sweat right along through here. I am going to try to work this area a little bit better. I am rubbing the material slightly, but not too much. Start getting the crown area. Again, just trying to squish it in my hand without distorting it. Basically, the reason why you don't wring it and stuff like that is because doing that could actually deform your pieces and they won't fit in right anymore. Back here. Okay, now I'm gonna try to start squeegeeing out some of this extra water. Put it in the rinse sink here. Look at that. Look how dirty that is. Wow. All right, let's get rid of that water. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I want to get all that soap out of the foam. But that's also why I use the Woolite. It's a little gentler, so it should not damage the foam much at all. As you can see, the water's still getting dark from some of the cruddy water that was still in there. And I'm going to just set it on the cloth there just to drain it out the rest of the way and let it dry. Now you could actually put your pads in your dryer, but just set it on a tumble dry, no heat, okay? There. Okay, so there's my other one. Again, I'm going to put it down on my towel here. I actually put them fabric side down. That way the water leaks out of here instead of around all these little plasticky parts. God, look at all that. You can see the soap residue that was left in there, so that's why you rinse it out. Okay, now that's it. That's all you have to do. That was so easy, guys, and I can usually get away with about every other year on washing my helmet pads. But yep, just let them sit here and drip dry for a little while. I got it on a bigger towel, that way when an area gets soaked, I can just move it to a dry spot. Okay, now the thing is, if you have a helmet that does not have removable pads, you can still do this, okay? You just can't remove the pads. You got to dunk your whole helmet in the water, and you still do the squishing and stuff like that to the pads that are inside the helmet. So you can still do it. It's a little more pain in the butt, but yeah, you can still clean your helmet, okay? And don't forget about that, the antibacterial spray made by Tide. Once they're dry and ready, spray them down with that antibacterial spray. Let them sit, let them dry again, put them in your helmet. You're ready to go for next year. All right, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. Thank you everybody for your support during this year. It was greatly appreciated. I mean, what a milestone. We hit our 1,000 subscriber mark this year, and before the end of the year, we've already reached 1,500. Love it, love it, love it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon page. You can see what I'm doing with that Vulcan 750 project bike. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for a wonderful year. Got one more video coming up this year, and that will be a cooking video, and I'm going to do a part 2 on the SpaghettiO surprise. Good stuff, okay? If you don't want to watch that cooking video, then I'll see you next year. Thanks, guys. See you on the road. Bye.